At which number the hour hand reach if it is at 12 after turning 90 degree in clockwise manner?
Correct response. 3 is the most accurate answer.
Kevin faces the school. If Kevin moves 90 degree clockwise, he will reach. Nice selection. Bus stop is the correct and valid answer. Which of the following a shape has one base and faces made of triangles?
Strong choice. Pyramid is the right answer.
If there are 5 faces in a square pyramid, how many edges does it have?
Good job. Your answer 9 works well here.
A triangle that has one angle that measures greater than 90 degrees?
Smart move. Obtuse triangle is an accurate answer. Identify the type of angle formed by the 2 hands of the clock.
Correct. Straight angle is the right answer.
What is measure of angle C if angle A plus angle B equal to 287 degrees? 73 degrees is the accurate answer. Which types of triangle is given in the image?
Right again. Scale and triangle is a valid answer.
What is the arrow pointing to in the angle?
Right choice. Vertex is the best answer.
A triangle with at least 2 equal sides.
Bravo. Isosceles triangle is the answer.
D is the midpoint of line segment BF.
Great thinking. True is the right choice.
How much degree this angle is equal to?
Solid response. 45 degree is a valid choice.
Which of the following is 180 degree?
Clear logic. Your choice, straight angle, is sound and 100% true. When the sum of the measures of 2 angles is that of a straight angle, and if one of them is obtuse, then the other should be dash. Excellent choice. Acute is the right answer. Name the circle part shown in green. Well picked. Sector is the correct answer.
Kate built a garden box with 4 sides. It has 2 sets of parallel sides. Which of the following shapes could her garden not be?
On track. Trapezoid is the correct answer.
Give an example of a major arc.
Well reasoned. Argos is the correct choice.
Identify the type of triangle.
Excellent. Scalene is a brilliant choice.
The perpendicular bisector of a line segment is a perpendicular to the line segment that divides it into dash equal parts.
Good thinking. 2 is the right answer.
This quadrilateral is a...
You chose parallelogram, and it is correct.
Suppose the hand of a clock starts at 1 and goes round until it reaches at 10. How many right angles has it moved?
Nice work. You chose 3, and it is correct.
What part of a revolution have you turned through if you stand facing east and turn anti-clockwise to face north? Smart pick. 1/24 of a revolution is the correct choice. Answer the following as true and false. A line segment equal to open curve. Circle closed curve. Array has one endpoint.
Well done. A true true is the right choice.
What fraction of a clockwise revolution does the hour hand of a clock turn through when it goes from 12 to 3?
Nicely done. 1/4 is a solid answer. A solid shape with a polygonal base and having other faces as triangles meeting at a point is called dash.
Sharp thinking. Pyramid is the right choice.
The number of right angles turned through by the hour hand of a clock when it goes from 5 to 11 is dash.
You're right. 2 is the correct answer.
Which direction will you face if you start facing west and make 1/4 of a revolution anti-clockwise?
Valid point. South is true.
When two lines intersect and the angle between them is a right angle, then the lines are said to be
Perfect. Perpendicular lines is the correct choice.
Where will the hand of a clock stop if it starts at 12 and makes half of a revolution clockwise?
Exactly. 6 makes sense and it is right choice.
An angle whose measure is more than 180 degrees but less than 360 degrees is called dash angle.
You got it. Your choice reflex is right.
If AB is perpendicular to CD, then can we say that CD is perpendicular to AB dash? Think calm.
Well picked. Yes is the correct answer.
If angle D plus angle E plus angle F plus angle G plus angle H equal to 3D 60 degrees, so what is angle of one angle?
You chose 72 degrees, and it is correct.
How many right angles do you make if you start facing north and turn anticlockwise to east?
Right again. 3 is a valid answer. If you turn 124 of a complete rotation clockwise, starting from south, you will be facing. Nice work. You chose west, and it is correct.
The set of all points in space which are equidistant from a fixed point is called dash.
Right choice. Sphere is the best answer.
For which of the following quadrilaterals, diagonals are perpendicular to each other?
Smart move. Rhombus is an accurate answer.
Which direction will you face if you start facing south and make one full revolution?
Good thinking. South is the right answer.
What is the formula for finding angle sum of a polygon if n is the number of sides?
Nice selection. Sex 180 is the correct and valid answer.
Which type of triangle is this? Triangle with length of sides 7 cm, 8 cm and 9 cm?
Correct response. Scalene triangle is the most accurate answer.
Name the quadrilateral using the property parallelogram with 4 right angles.
Correct. Rectangle is the right answer.
Which of the following is a region bounded by 2 radii and an arc of a circle?
Exactly. Sector makes sense, and it is right choice.
Measure of 2 angles between hour and minute hands of an clock at 9 o'clock are.
Solid response. 270 degree, 90 degree is a valid choice.
The line segments joining the opposite vertices of a quadrilateral are called.
Nicely done. Diagonals is a solid answer.
A dash is a quadrilateral with 2 sets of parallel sides and 4 right angles.
Bravo. Rectangle is the answer.
If the hand of the clock is at 5 and makes WT fourth the revolution, it lands on.
Strong choice. 8 is the right answer.
Name the type of triangle with lengths of sides equal to 8 cm, 5 cm, 10 cm.
Well done. Scalene triangle is the right choice.
Do you think it is possible to sketch a right-angled equilateral triangle?
Great job. No is the accurate answer.
If XY is a perpendicular bisector to AB and M is the midpoint of AB, then sharp thinking. AM equal TOOM is the right choice. If any one angle is greater than 90 degrees, then the triangle is called a.
You're right. Obtuse-angled triangle is the correct answer.
If a quadrilateral ABCD is such that AB equal toad, BC equal tocked, then it is called a.
Valid point. Kite is true.
Tools used to measure or to compare the length of line segments are dash.
Smart pick. Options 1 and 2 is the correct choice.
An angle is dash if its measure is smaller than that of a right angle.
On track. Acute is the correct answer.
And dash is the amount of rotation between initial ray and terminal ray.
Great thinking. Angle is the right choice.
Say true or false, all sides of a parallelogram are of equal length.
Good job. Your answer false works well here. An angle that measure less than 90 degrees is called Aachen-Sangle. Clear logic. Your choice acute angle is sound and 100% true. If each angle of a triangle is acute, then it is called dash triangle. Well reasoned. Acute angled is the correct choice. A parallelogram whose all angles and sides are equal is called dash. Excellent. Square is a brilliant choice. What is the name of the triangle whose all three sides are unequal? Perfect. Scalene triangle is the correct choice. Say true or false if the opposite sides of a trapezium are parallel. You got it. Your choice true is right.
If a shape is a square, then it is also a rectangle and a rhombus.
Excellent choice. True is the right answer. What will you call a triangle having one angle equal to 90 degrees?
Good thinking. Right-angled is the right answer.
The angle formed between the east and the north direction is dash. Strong choice. 90 degree is the right answer. The diagonals do not necessarily intersect at right angles in. Smart pick. Parallelogram is the correct choice. To measure angles, we use a geometrical instrument called a dash. Nicely done. Protractor is a solid answer.
A dash is always a rhombus, but a rhombus is not always a dash.
You're right. Square is the correct answer.
The number of obtuse angles in obtuse-angled triangle is dash. Well reasoned. 1 is the correct choice. How many pairs of parallel lines are in the figure rectangle?
Great job. 2 is the accurate answer.
Say true or false if the diagonals of a rhombus are not equal.
Right choice. True is the best answer. The quadrilateral whose diagonals bisect at right angles is. Nice selection. Square, rhombus is the correct and valid answer. When three sides of a triangle are equal, it is called dash.
Correct response. An equilateral triangle is the most accurate answer.
Given a circle with a diameter of 10 m, what is the radius? Perfect. 5 m is the correct choice.
Angles bigger than acute but smaller than obtuse are called.
Bravo. Right is the answer.
If a quadrilateral has 4 equal sides, then it is a square. Excellent choice. False is the right answer. Which ones of these revolution has no special angle name? Exactly. 3/4 revolution makes sense, and it is right choice.
If Pujas is a parallelogram, then PR is how much degree?
On track. Zo is the correct answer.
The angle made by the clock hands when the time is 1 p.m. is.
Nice work. You chose acute angle, and it is correct. In a triangle x MY equal to 120 degree, it is a dash triangle. Well done. Obtuse angled is the right choice.
There are dash acute angles in a right-angled triangle.
Right again. 2 is a valid answer. The sum of a right angle and straight angle is equal to. Valid point. 270 degrees is true. The lines used to count the frequencies are called dash. Good job. Your answer tally marks works well here.
The common end point where the two rays meet is called.
You got it. Your choice vertex is right. A triangle having all three unequal sides is called A. You chose scale and triangle, and it is correct.
Why should we not measure lines using just our eyes?
Smart move. No accurate is an accurate answer. How do we find a relation between two line segments? Great thinking. By comparing their length is the right choice.
Which direction is 90 degrees from west anticlockwise?
Solid response.
South is a valid choice.
A triangle having three equal sides is dash triangle.
Clear logic. Your choice equilateral is sound and 100% true.
How many set squares are there in our geometry box?
Correct. 2 is the right answer.
Which one of these is the example of obtuse angle?
Well picked. 96 degree is the correct answer.
An angle smaller than a right angle is called dash.
Sharp thinking. Acute angle is the right choice.
A parallelogram with 4 right angles is called dash.
Excellent. Rectangle is a brilliant choice. An angel whose measure is 180 degrees is dash angle. Bravo. Straight angle is the answer.
Instrument used to measure or construct angles is?
Excellent. Protractor is a brilliant choice.
The triangular prism looks like the shape of a dash.
Sharp thinking. Kaleidoscope is the right choice.
What could be the measurement of an obtuse angle?
Exactly. 130 makes sense and it is right choice.
What is the angle name of 1/4 revolution?
Good job. Your answer, right angle, works well here.
Is there a special name for 3/4 of a revolution?
You're right. No is the correct answer.
The number of faces in a triangular pyramid is?
Correct response. 4 is the most accurate answer. Bonus. Which shape below has 4 right angles? On track. Square is the correct answer.
What shape has only one set of parallel sides?
Strong choice. Trapezoid is the right answer. No of acute angles in a right triangle is dash. Solid response. 2 is a valid choice. It is better to use a divider than a ruler too. Well picked. Check angles is the correct answer.
The angle formed at 6 o'clock is a dash angle.
Nice selection. Straight angle is the correct and valid answer.
The angle for 1 revolution is a dash angle.
Well reasoned. Complete angle is the correct choice.
What is the angle name for half a revolution?
Thinking. Straight angle is the right choice.
What is the measurement of a straight angle?
Smart pick. 180 is the correct choice.
Triangles are not classified on the basis of.
Perfect. Vertices is the correct choice.
What is the another name of triangular prism?
You got it? Your choice tetrahedron is right.
What is the sum of the angle of a decagon?
Right again. 1440 degrees is a valid answer.
The measure of an acute angle 90 degree. Good thinking. False is the right answer.
The measure of 1 complete revolution is. Excellent choice. 360 degree is the right answer.
A triangle is made of dash line segments.
You chose 3, and it is correct.
How many sides does a quadrilateral have?
Well done. 4 is the right choice.
Which shape measures a 360-degree angle?
Valid point. Circle is true.
2 right angles make 1 straight angle.
Great job. True is the accurate answer.
A circle can have dash lines of symmetry.
Nice work. You chose infinity countless, and it is correct.
A square is a special type of rectangle.
Correct. True is the right answer.
A quadrilateral is made up of 4 dash.
Smart move. Line segments is an accurate answer.
An angle of 35 degree is a dash angle.
Clear logic. Your choice acute is sound and 100% true.
A line segment can be measured by using.
Right choice. Both I and II is the best answer.
Angle less than 90 degree is called as.
Nicely done. Acute angle is a solid answer.
The number of corners of a cylinder is.
You got it. Your choice 0 is right.
Polygons are named based on their dash.
Smart move. Sides is an accurate answer.
Which answer best describes a rhombus?
Great thinking. Has all equal sides is the right choice.
Which of the following is reflex angle?
Well done. 300 degree is the right choice.
223 to 14 on the 4 for 5 3 20 NICE 2002 25 24 84 3555 220 is the correct and valid answer.
A polygon with 8 sides is known as.
Good job. Your answer octagon works well here.
Complete angle equal to dash straight angles.
Solid response. 2 is a valid choice.
Measure of the complete angle is dash.
Great job. 360 degree is the accurate answer.
All the sides of a rhombus are equal.
Exactly. True makes sense and it is right choice.
What is a 5-sided polygon called?
You chose pentagon, and it is correct.
An angle smaller than a right angle.
Valid point. Acute angle is true.
What is the shape of a RAID roller?
Excellent. Cylinder is a brilliant choice.
A polygon with 6 sides is called a strong choice. Hexagon is the right answer.
Measure at the right angle is dash.
Nice work. You chose 90 degree and it is correct.
How many faces does a prism have? Right again. Phi is a valid answer.
Straight angle equal to dash right angle.
Well reasoned. 2 is the correct choice.
Egyptian pyramids are shaped like.
Correct. Square pyramid is the right answer.
Type of triangle 8 cm, 5 10 cm. Smart pick. Scalene triangle is the correct choice. What is a degree of acute angle? Clear logic. Your choice to 90 degree is sound and 100% true.
Name the shape of a playing dice.
Sharp thinking. Cube is the right choice.
What is an infinite-sided figure?
Correct response. Circle is the most accurate answer.
Which of these is not a polygon?
Nicely done. Circle is a solid answer.
Rhombus is a dash-sided polygon.
Good thinking. 4 is the right answer.
A triangle has how many sides?
Right choice. 3 is the best answer. Is hexagon a 6-sided figure? You're right. True is the correct answer. Example of acute angle is dash. Bravo. Letter V is the answer.
Angle is formed by 2 lines.
Perfect. False is the correct choice.
Of revolution or dash angle.
On track. 3 is the correct answer.
A right angle measures dash.
Well picked. 90 degree is the correct answer. 1 pair of parallel sides.
Excellent choice. Trapezium is the right answer.
A tilted square is called. You're right. Rhombus is the correct answer.
A cuboid has dash edges.
Clear logic. Your choice 12 is sound and 100% true.
Angles are measured in.
Correct response. Degrees is the most accurate answer.
The measure of reflex.
You chose 270 degree, and it is correct. Triangle is the dash. Sharp thinking. Smallest polygon is the right choice.
A triangle has.
Excellent choice. 3 quadrilaterals is the right answer.
1 equal to dash cm.
Bravo. Point 1 is the answer.
A circle is a.
On track. Simple closed curve is the correct answer.
A cuboid has.
Nice work. You chose 6 faces and it is correct. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? Right choice. Contact Narayan Changda on Facebook is the best answer.